My guest tonight is Andrea Powers of Powers Yoga in Bergenfield, New Jersey, and she's also facilitating or hosting a yoga brunch cruise around Manhattan Island, and it's very exciting. So we're going to talk about that tonight. I think we'll talk about that first. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so I'm not a yoga person. You know that, right?
Yes.
But this event interests me, and I'm going because I like yoga women. I like brunch, and I like water because I told you before I'm a Cancer water sign. So, but I do like the river. I like the Manhattan skyline and all that. So I want to know, what can somebody that buys a ticket tonight, what can somebody like me or a yoga student or even a yoga instructor, I know you're going to have like a handful of them there, right? Some of the more kind of bigger names as well?
Basically a few yoga instructors, some teachers, some instructors walking around helping to assist people. And yeah, we have some bigger names. We have Jenny Kleiss. She is the manager of Pure Yoga. And then we also just have Eleonora Zambati. And both of them are based either at New York, New Jersey, but both of them are New York City teachers.
Okay. So they primarily work. So I mean, I'm excited from the images I saw and the write-up. Can you give us kind of a walkthrough? What happens? You get there. What happens first?
Sure.
Do we eat first or what?
No, we meet there at 7:15. Anytime between 7:15 and 7:45 to do a meet and greet. We meet people outside, make sure that everybody gets to the boat, and it's at Chelsea Pier, so we want to make sure everybody knows exactly where they're going. So, and then at 8 o'clock, a couple of the yoga instructors will be escorting the attendees onto the yacht. It's actually a yacht, and it's a beautiful yacht that we chose. They had a few boats, some a lot bigger. This one's pretty big. It holds about, I want to say about 400 to 600 people, but we're not going to be having that many people on the boat because we want to make it still intimate and such like that. So then basically at 8 o'clock, everybody walks onto the cruise and they get a complimentary energized drink from Garden of Life, and they're one of our sponsors. And then from there, you'll head to your mat, and I'll be opening the meditation. I'll be doing the meditation, getting everybody kind of in the mood, set, grounded, energized, awakened, and then the yoga teachers will step in. We'll do an hour yoga class, and then after that, we can roll up our mats and go to the second floor. There's 3 levels. You go to the second floor where there is the brunch, and there's an array of fruits, salads, muffins, bagels, and
so a little bit of everything.
Bacon, a little bit of everything. There's a cash bar, so if somebody really wants to indulge in having a nice mimosa, they can then head up to the upper deck when the class is over. Because there's 3 levels, so there's the water level. So each level you can get a view of the breathtaking views, actually, of New York City. Stunning. Yeah. And then you can go up to the upper deck that's actually all outside to take in some more of the views, where Hoopgini girl will be up there doing her hooping and salsa dancing and such like that. And then we cruise around the city. We go to the Statue of Liberty, and then we head back to Chelsea Piers. So the whole event is a 3-hour event, and that's the Yoga Punching Cruise.
Okay, so right. So I'm feeling that someone such as a yoga student or even somebody like myself or an instructor can probably meet somebody that's kind of on a similar wavelength, and so I'm feeling like there's going to be some bonding going on. We're all going to be on a boat, right? And
absolutely. Anytime you go to a yoga event, there's always bonding going on. It's because of the energy. We set the tone, and you're with like-minded people as well. Right. Everybody's there for the same reason, and a lot of times these events do attract, as yourself, new yoga students.
Right.
Right, because it's not as intimidating. It's a lighter, it's funner, it's a nice spin, and it's a nice way to open up the door for people to try yoga. And it's geared for all levels, so you don't have to be advanced.
Oh,
you don't have
really?
to know yoga. The teachers are very well advanced that we know how to adjust and give options for people. And again, there'll be other teachers walking around to help assist if somebody needs an adjustment or somebody needs some water or whatever the case is.
So you have good coverage.
Very, of course.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, it sounds like a high-class operation. I mean, it's a yacht. It's going around Manhattan, so you're really tapping into some big energy here. You got the skyline right there, right? You have the river, which is actually an estuary, I was reading, because it's pulling in salt water from the Atlantic, and then you have fresh water coming down, right, towards Manhattan from, let's say, New York State and that part of the country. So it's a lot of energy circulating around.
I mean, just being outdoors. When I do my yoga, I do a lot of events. I'll try to go outdoors, and when I do my yoga hike brunch, we're outdoors. It's woodsy. It has a different, more of a grounding. This is definitely going to be a more energized feeling. The great thing that we're doing in October is because it's the calmest time. So the water is very still. It's calm. We're not going to hit rough waters. The temperature is perfect. So you're not, for those who, we have 2 levels and 2 pricing tiers. We have a general ticket, which is at water level, and then we have a VIP ticket, which is on the upper deck. So those who are on the upper deck will be able to enjoy nice weather, not 80 degrees, 90 degrees heat, coming down on them.
If it's that hot.
October's like it can get that hot, and you're on water, so you're even attracting more. So October is probably the best time for cruising. So that's why we did choose October, in the first week of October 6th. And we are currently also offering a early to see package, so people can save $20. The VIP package comes with a goodie bag, comes with a raffle ticket. It comes with our sponsors are Kombucha and Garden of Life, and we'll have some other sponsors as well as we get closer.
Sounds fantastic. So you mentioned earlier, and I want to touch on this a bit because we're going to get some newbies over there from this from this radio show tonight, because you mentioned earlier it's for all levels. So you are presenting this in a manner where everybody can flourish during these classes on the boat.
Right. Even my classes at my studio, it's always all levels.
Right.
Welcome.
Okay. Yeah. We'll talk about that a little bit too. So you mentioned earlier, and I've only done a few classes myself over the years, not many. It's I prefer to get my exercise through weight training and with a trainer, and I do meditate, but I also understand that yoga is in a sense a meditation. But when I was doing it in the classroom, I was more focused on trying to kind of keep up with everybody and at least get the pose half-assed correct. And it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was intimidating, but I can see how, for me anyway. But I could see how it could be imitating for people just coming in, and then you have all these seasoned. It's mostly women, so guys, take note. If you want to meet women, go to a yoga class because it's going to be pretty much all women. But that's not why you're going there. So that could let's like after the yoga class out on the sidewalk, you can do that. Okay. So don't let me put ideas in your head, but
no, we can sense that.
Right. So no, but it is a place where you can meet like-minded people, friends, even a potential relationship if you connect with someone in that manner. But yeah, it's definitely not like a dating scene. But
so it's a spiritual practice. You're going there for yourself. You're going there to connect with yourself, your higher self, and to cut through the BS.
Right.
So whatever, you want to leave all that stuff out the door because it's really
I see. Okay, that's for the sidewalk later, or when they kick you off the boat.
Maybe,
after the last class, 3 hours later. Okay, so I gotta ask. So I could see how people might be intimidated, but that doesn't happen in your studio. I know you did explain that to me earlier when we were chatting. I think it was yesterday or whenever. But so this is a great way to actually break into yoga because number one, this is totally out of the box. Nobody's doing, or as far as I know anyway, nobody's doing anything like this. And not on this level, and maybe in California. But that doesn't matter. No. Yeah, but that's the West Coast. They don't count. So we're over here. Touching back just on what you were saying, that just to let people know, and I always let people know this about with me. My first class, I was extremely intimidated. I walked in, and I was an athlete. I was a runner. Yeah, I walked in. I wasn't. Until I walked in with sweats and orange juice, until the yoga instructor kind of looked me up and down. I mean, this is 1990, California. Looked me up and down and kind of took my juice and handed me water and then came and brought me shorts. And I was like, ew, whose shorts are these? But, this is getting weirder and weirder and weirder. You're joking. You're joking. No, and then I put on the shorts, and I'm still kind of like freaked out. Like, are these his shorts? Because nobody talked to me or said anything. And then I walked into the classroom. It was filled with really an array of people, men, women. First yoga was made for men. It wasn't made for women. It's kind of funny how it flipped around. Now all women do it. But when yoga was really created for what they called Brahmins, and they were higher elite men. Yes, Brahmins were what? Okay, so they were just in a higher class, and I think these were into the whole history philosophy. But my point is that when I went in, I immediately went to the 65-year-oldish lady thinking like she'll mother me or I'll stand next to her. Well, she ended up being like one of the best in the class, and I was like, holy cow! I tell my students all the time that first, I did 3 poses. I did chair pose, eagle pose, door pose. I was out the door. Door pose? That's not a real pose, right? No, it's not. That's out. That's when you're okay. So that's when you slip out, right? My ego totally kicked in. I flipped in. I flipped out. I had a meditation experience. I think I still had some Kundalini energy. I was just really shaking uncontrollably. So I know that happens to a lot of people too in class, but nobody explained that to me. So anyway, so I kind of took back my sweats, took out my orange juice. I kind of stormed out like, what the heck was that? That's not, what is it? I was like really angry. More like, I guess it was the first thing that I've ever quit. It was the first thing I've ever not been able to do. Okay, well, I got to put this into context, though. Okay, but I got to put this into context. It was the first thing you ever quit, because you're not. I know you're a determined type of very driven person, like from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, but you've been a yoga instructor. Well, wait, you've been doing yoga for how long? Tell me again.
I don't want to say my age. No, just kidding.
No. I don't want your age. But how long?
Well, I'm trying to figure out. I'm 47, so I'm trying to figure out. It's been, I guess, like 27 years.
How many?
27 years.
27?
Something like that. 27. I was like 20, 21.
So, right, and you quit yoga, and you were intimidated in the beginning, but somehow you knew something was there for you, right? Somehow you knew something was there.
The next morning I woke up. My first thought was, I have to go back. I was like, why did I just say that? But for whatever reason, I mean, it was literally my first thought that I had when I opened up my eyes. So I realized intuitively, obviously, I need to go back. So I didn't go back. I trained myself. I got some books, and I just literally started training myself. And then I got trained, and then I opened up my own studio many years later. This wasn't like I didn't open up my own studio till 2005, so that was many years later. I was really working more on meditation, nutrition, and such like that.
Oh, okay. So you did work in
before.
Sorry?
I was doing more spiritual work than the physical. So usually people get into yoga, they do the physical first, then the spiritual comes later. I kind of did it backwards. The spiritual first, and then the last piece was the physical part, the asanas, the poses, the routine and stuff.
Right. So you prepared yourself spiritually so you could get the most out of the physical aspect of yoga as well, I think.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know all this, obviously, but yes, that's how it kind of played out.
Right. Yeah, you just went along and you followed your instinct, and boom, here you are doing yoga brunch cruise on Manhattan or around Manhattan on the Hudson River, and you almost walked away from it, but it called you back. So for whatever reason, it called you back, and it was meant to be. And so somebody out there that's new, that's kind of maybe looking at meditation, looking at yoga, and thinking, yeah, you know what, I need something. I don't know what. I need something in my life. I'm kind of lost. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. My mind's chattering mile a minute. My life's a little unmanageable, whatever. I'm not that healthy, a couple bad habits, maybe a little cigarette addiction or something. So somebody like that's kind of, on the verge of wanting to change something, and wanting to take on a spiritual practice in order to, I don't know, expand their consciousness or whatever the hell they want to attain, whatever the goal is, that's up to them. But what would you tell that person? What would you tell that person that's just kind of starting to research, dabble, whatever? Maybe they're going to go out to their first yoga class. Maybe they're going to do your yoga brunch cruise the first time. Maybe somebody listening from New Jersey or Manhattan or the vicinity. Or you could take a train from an Amtrak train from pretty much anywhere to Manhattan, and probably you could take an Uber or there's plenty of good ground transportation once you get into Manhattan Island.
And this is just the one class of many too. That we'll be doing a series as well. But that won't be till next spring. So I would jump on this cruise now. Otherwise, you'll have to wait till the springtime when the weather gets nice again. But, if somebody who's just starting out, I tend to attract newbies, which I love because I get the honor of being the first person to kind of open up doors. I encourage people to take different styles. Sometimes people go into one class, as myself, went into one class and didn't like it until I found, for me, because I was a runner, my muscles were used to moving, that vinyasa more spoke to me, and for my body. And then as I became more advanced or practiced more. I hate to say advanced, but more, I practiced more. I was able to hold poses. I was able to still the mind a little bit more. So I think people just need to try to, sometimes it's the teacher. It's not even that they could be a fabulous teacher, but it's all, for me, it's about connection. I think sometimes people don't realize that it could be a great teacher, but you're just not connecting with them. And sometimes you can go to one person, and they might not even be like the best teacher and doing all the best poses, but you make that connection. One of my teachers that I had in West Milford, she wasn't doing handstands, headstands, but she had one of the biggest classes. It was just the way she presented it as well and made it more accessible for everybody to do. And then some people didn't like her because she was too easy. So I think you just got to step in, open mind. You have to give it time, too,
Yeah.
The mind is very, very strong. If you have an addiction, that's very strong. So people, I think, want gratification, like right now.
Sure.
And yoga is a practice. It takes time. Some people get it right away. Some people, it's just they have that mind and body connection. Some people it takes, like everybody. Some people can pick up an instrument and play it right away, and some people, like me, have to forget about it. It's like lessons and lessons, and still it's just torture. But I think everybody should do some form of yoga. I think everybody is also, even if you just do it once a week, and not for the physical practice. Yoga is just not about the physical. It's about the mental. It's how we interact with the world. It's how we interact with ourselves. It's what we put into our bodies, and like you said, and smoking or certain things like that. And then you reach higher levels of meditation and breathing exercises, and there's so much to yoga. I think you have to find the right studio, the right teacher, sometimes that you just connect with. There's a lot of teachers out there now. And when I first started, there wasn't that many. I had a hard time, I remember, finding like yoga teachers, right? And now there's an array. The thing that's great. I think it's great. The more the merrier, The only thing that sometimes, it could get a little washed out with the spiritualism and the other parts of yoga, because it really needs to be together as a component. So, for somebody who's trying it out, I would just say, even if you do it at home, I think a lot of people do it. What's great is there's a lot of online where, like I did. I used to watch it on, I think it was like on TV. There was like 30-minute videos until I felt comfortable, and then I stepped into a studio. And then I found out that I was doing poses wrong. But at least I felt a little more comfortable knowing what it was before I went in, right? That's
a great strategy. That's for anyone out there. It's a great, so you don't feel like the big newbie coming in.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So,
and who cares if you are? I mean, everybody starts out. Just think about that. You never know. I always tell people, you never know. You can go in and you're standing next to a teacher, right? You never know. Right. So you just want to. I always go in kind of putting on blinders now. But my first class, I was extremely intimidated. Like I said, I walked out. So it's everybody. If they don't say that they weren't nervous for their first class, I'd be shocked, because majority of people are, unless they were around it their whole lives or something. So just
nice. I think my first class was
I said just for people to know that it's totally normal to be intimidated or a little nervous. Anytime you try something new, I think it can be a little intimidating. We're worst critics, right?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, definitely, we can be. I was just thinking, my first yoga class was at Starseed Yoga in Montclair, and I think her name was, I forgot her name, Jyoti maybe. And I knew her husband after she passed. I met him while she was still alive. So her and her husband actually brought yoga to New Jersey, and it started at Starseed Yoga in Montclair. they used to do a free class once a week, and I was living either in Montclair or Bloomfield at the time, and I went for the free class, and I actually wasn't intimidated. I just what would you say? I just really didn't know what I was doing. But the ladies that were there, they gave me great assistance, and they helped me get the poses, at least half-ass right, and or if not fairly right. And I don't know. I didn't go back, but because I didn't get it. I didn't really get it. I told you, I think yesterday, that I cleared the majority of all my issues that I had from childhood and beyond, and all of it. And then I started meditating this on a regular basis this year. And for 6 years, I mean, it would have helped if I was meditating all along, of course. But I was just, I like to do things my way, and it's not always the best way. And I do like to do it my way at every turn, if I can. And sometimes I'm my own worst enemy. I'm aware of that. But I guess, just live and learn. So, right. But I don't know. I'm not the person to talk to about yoga, but huh?
Yeah, sometimes it's not the right time. I was saying sometimes it's not the right time. You're not open yet, and maybe you try it again. Or maybe just yoga's not for you, and that's okay too.
Well, and that's possible, but I'm not quite there yet. Like, I haven't arrived at that point, because I did have a beautiful one-on-one session with an instructor that lived in Edgewater and taught in that area, and also did some classes in Manhattan. And she was, I mean, from what I could tell, she was pretty good. And she was actually Indian as well. That helped, I guess, or maybe. But
that doesn't make a difference, really.
No, I know, but you know the stereotype or whatever. So, but it that was a really, I got more of what yoga is, the essence of it, through that one-on-one, because it was a personalized experience. And
usually men prefer the one-on-one, because they anytime I do a one-on-one with a male, the reason why they're doing it is so they can get in. Well, the reasons why they have given me is, and I'm not saying this is everybody, obviously,
sure,
but that, like you said, it's majority of women in class, and they don't want to look silly. They're nervous a little. So I'll get them prepared to get into a class, but I'm like, let's go, get into a class. I'm not ready. I'm like, yes, you are, and that's fine too. Some people just like one-on-ones better, and that's fine. And some people like groups. So, you just got to kind of figure out what works for you. Some classes, like I said, are more spiritual. Some classes are more stretching. So you have to look what you're looking to get out of it, and then start from there. Are you looking to become, do you want to get into meditation more? Do you have an injury? So, you might want to go into more of a therapeutic style class versus a vinyasa class that's going to be very challenging and maybe even re-injure yourself. Right, so when my students come in, I kind of look at the person, and I base off what they need by their body type, their personality. If they are constantly moving, I'm going to tell them to, take more of a hatha class to learn how to slow down, but that's where the challenge comes. People don't like change, like, right? So if I'm a go, I'm going to like a go. You're going to ask me to now stop and hold. But that's where the learning comes from. Yoga really teaches you a lot about yourself, your likes, your dislikes. Things pop into your head. We're not used to being still. And if we are just being still, we're watching TV, or reading a book, or talking to our friends, right? So not too many times do we get to just be still. And a lot of things come up, and a lot of people, it's hard sometimes to handle all these things that may come up. Or you may cry. You don't even know why you're crying. But it's not really a cry. It's just like a release. So there's, I'm obviously a huge advocate of yoga. I hurt my back running. I was a sprinter. I was going, for a scholarship. And I had to find a new outlet. And, I couldn't walk. I was very young. 2021, I was very young, and I had a scholarship, and I'm a sprinter. And then, I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't walk from running, and I ran I was like Forrest Gump. So I ran all the time. And now I couldn't find anything to do. So that's how I ended up getting into yoga. But it helped heal my back. Now,
really?
No pain. I haven't had pain in many. I couldn't even sit down in a car for more than 20 minutes. I couldn't go to the movie theater. I couldn't do a lot of things. It just was so painful.
Wow.
And I was very young. So, yeah, yoga and Pilates. I have to give a shout-out to Pilates. Yoga really stretched me, and Pilates, the core strength, acts like a corset around my spine, keeps everything. So when I found the space in between my spine, my core kept it in place so it didn't collapse again.
Oh, yes.
And then I've never done anything else since then. I've only done yoga, and I've never been stronger in my life. I don't do weights. I just do yoga.
You do only yoga?
Only yoga. Oh,
only...
that's not true. And I do run now.
You
I
still run? Huh?
Yes, I'm able to run again, even though they told me, I'm not going to be able to run, and I didn't run for a very long time. But, yeah, I was able to start running again, and I do light. I don't do what I used to do. I would, jumps and hurdles and such like that. I just run, I walk. I'm very cautious. I don't want to get re-injured.
Yeah, I run sometimes when the police are chasing me, but that's not that often. Yeah. No, well, you could take the kid out of Bayonne, but you can't take the Bayonne out of the kid. So this sounds fantastic. If you're thinking about trying yoga and you're in the Bergen County area, anywhere near George Washington Bridge or northern New Jersey, or if you want to take a shuttle over, you're in Bergenfield, and so they can check out your studio website at, what is it, Powers Yoga?
Yeah, Powers Yoga. We do a variety of classes. We do aerial. Yeah, powersyoga.com.
Okay, so powersyoga.com, and then and you do a lot of different classes. You were just saying, so yeah, please.
I do a lot of different classes. Just I'm very creative, hence why I come up with these events like Yoga Brunch Cruise or the hike or
yoga hike. You did, right?
Yeah, that's coming up in September 15th and 10.
Oh, you have one coming up. Okay, and they could see all this on your website, I assume, right?
Yeah, they can see all this on the website. Yep. And I just do a variety because I've just learned that, there's not one style that's going to fit. So I try to give my students an array that they have. It's like a little smorgasbord, but the foundation is there. The philosophy is there. The history is still there. Just a little variety, so people, it's like cross-training, right? You want to do different things with your body and with your mind so you don't get stagnant, and you are always challenging yourself mentally and physically. So, yeah, there's a couple of different classes. There's aerial. We do stand-up paddleboard yoga during the summer, obviously, and, yeah, hot yoga, flow yoga, bar. We have it a little bit.
You do it all,
everything.
sounds like.
Do it all.
And that's Powers Yoga. Powers, plural. PowersYoga.com.
Yes.
And YogaBrunchCruise.com. So if you're thinking of checking out yoga, what better than a cruise around Manhattan Island on a yacht? So, and
a better way to try yoga for the first time, or if you've been doing yoga for a while, it's just a win-win. You're outside. It's beautiful. The weather is probably going to be perfect. It's your last opportunity, really, to be outside, be out in the water before it starts to get cold. And, again, with like-minded people, and the teachers we have are excellent teachers. So I'm really excited to have them on board with us.
Right. And I did notice, I got to tell the guys that the last class I did was with that friend from high school that you know, he used to create music for like commercials, and then he got into yoga, and actually a friend of mine who I met through my magazine, a new friend who was hanging around for a while, she said she actually took me to his class because she was kind of pushing yoga on me, and even meditation, which, you know, was fine. So I went, and guys, the girls aren't looking at you at all, zero. They're focused on their yoga practice, so there's no need to feel inadequate because maybe you don't have the poses down 100% yet. Nobody's looking at you, believe me. Nobody cares. So you go there and you do this for you. It's a spiritual. People will be there
to help you.
What's that?
I said, if anything, people are there to be helpful.
Right, and especially the instructors. So they're going to make you feel very welcome, especially on this cruise, because there's going to be a nice handful of them going around and just assisting you, making sure you're doing the poses, you know, more correctly, and helping you with whatever else. I'm sure that there's a lot of support there to make everyone's experience the best it could be, and a memorable one as well, because, I mean, the scenery is going to be there, the majestic. You're going to see the cliffs from New Jersey cliffs, the Palisades, right, where that area where the George Washington Bridge is. You're going to be looking at the skyline. Hopefully you'll have some good.
The other
what's
direction?
That?
I'm not sure if we'll be going in that direction.
Okay, you might be going the other way. Okay, that's fine. But but you're going around Manhattan Island anyway. So what's more majestic than endless skyscrapers on a little island, you know, in Metropolis?
Right.
It's crazy.
It's like, like a moving.
And then afterwards you can go hang out in the city and you know, maybe catch a show or have a nice dinner. I mean, the restaurants are. What's that? Yeah,
you've done early enough at 11 o'clock that there's still time to enjoy the rest of your day. We're in Chelsea Piers. There's so much going on around there.
And all those restaurants they have now. It's like fantastic. There's just so much good food now downtown Chelsea, and you know, they make these little co-ops where. So what's that?
It's really beautiful over there.
Yeah, no, like these places where they have, I forget what they call them, but somebody rents a whole big space and then they subdivide it into little, like, almost booths where everybody has their little kitchen, right? And it's like you walk into one building or one, let's say, one space, and it's like 12 or 13, 15 different restaurants. There's something like that. My dentist is in Midtown, and actually not Midtown, East Side Midtown. But there's something like that there. It's just fantastic. And, you know, Manhattan just has the best food. So this is girls' day out. This is, you know, mother-daughter,
mother-daughter,
sisters,
guys,
friends,
yoga.
Guys, and then you know what, you could do yoga, and then you can go have some drinks and just or if that's what you want to do, you can unwind that way, or you know, it's a lovely time for the parks, especially Central Park. You can have some good foliage. So really, I mean, this can tie into your whole day there. And what's more refreshing than yoga and meditation in the morning, and get you nice and calm and grounded, and also perky as well, because you're going to get some good energy from this, especially on the boat with all that scenery.
Right.
And the weather's going to be good. It's probably, this is early, right? This is what, October 5th?
October 6th.
October 6th. So that's a Saturday probably, or?
Sunday.
It's a Sunday, October 6th, and so that's powersyoga.com. And if you're not in the area, take a train. Get on a train. Take a cab, whatever. Take a long-distance Uber. Yeah, just get there. It doesn't matter.
It really
Hitchhike.
is going to be like the yoga event of 2019. And it really is going to be one of the bigger yoga events that's going on. It's new. It's exciting. We have great teachers, the food. You have a cruise. You have the views.
I think it's fabulous. Huh?
Yeah, we're all excited. You know, we partnered with Spirit Cruise Lines of New York City. We're all excited for this event. We can't express enough how, and the team that we have pulled together is amazing. And there'll be more teachers that we're going to be unfolding. So just keep a lookout. Even on Instagram, you can follow us on Instagram or even on Facebook. And Instagram, it's at Yoga Brunch Cruise. And on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Yoga Brunch Cruise as well. Yoga Brunch Cruise.
Yoga Brunch. Just remember, wherever you go, social media land, Yoga Brunch Cruise. Those three keywords, that's all you need. YogaBrunchCruise.com. I'm going. I'm going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to have mimosas, whatever, after yoga. And maybe a nice Bloody Mary or two.
And just put it out there that if you go on Instagram, we're going to be giving a ticket away. So there'll be a contest that people can partake. So that will be running next week. So take a look out for that as well.
Great. And then when's the drawing for that ticket?
It's going to be, I believe it's going to start next Saturday. Okay. And it'll be it's not going to be like a one-day thing. It's going to be for a few days, and then we'll pick the winner.
Okay. And where can they go to enter the drawing? Where?
On Instagram.
That's Instagram, Yoga Brunch Cruise on Instagram.
Yeah. So the Instagram is at Yoga Brunch Cruise.
Okay, at Yoga Brunch Cruise. At symbol, that's for you non-techie people. It's the at or the email symbol at Yoga Brunch Cruise on Instagram. Yeah.
And if anybody has trouble, they can always email me at hello@yogabrunchcruise.com.
hello@yogabrunchcruise.com. That's a good email. Okay, so
they're going to cut us off in a minute. So
they're going to cut us off? Okay, well, that's not the first time I've been cut off. So, all right. I hope you're feeling better, Hercules, and we'll just pick this up next month. It's nice that we gave Andrea a lot of time to get into the finer points of yoga, because I think it's going to be a great piece to share, educational and even promotional as well. So thanks for having us on, and I'll talk to you soon. Let's get together.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Andrea, and Hercules. We'll get together for something or other, food or drink or both later.
That was awesome. Be well to both of you, and to those who joined us from home, thank you for doing so. Until next time, this is all of us wishing you joyous journeys and amazing adventures.
Thank you. We're going to get Hercules to do yoga too.
Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Unity Radio Network. Join us 7 nights a week for exciting programming covering a variety of expressions of faith. And remember, all manifestations of the divine are equally valid.